Hey, what's going on, people? This is episode number 98 of Latino Vegano, and I'm your host, Roger. And you know, I love talking about veganism, anything related to the vegan lifestyle, vegan movement, activism, environmental issues, personal development issues related to vegan, anything vegan related, animal welfare, and so on and so forth. So today I'm going to be answering a question that I get a lot, and that question is how a vegan diet changes your body. How vegan diet changes your body, basically. So today I'm going to be talking about that in episode 98. But before, please don't forget to subscribe, give like to the video, go ahead and make a comment in our podcast. You show some love in our podcast, and we appreciate you guys for all the love and support. So, without further ado, let's talk about how a vegan diet changes your body. Vamos.
latinoyvegano.com.
So, I asked this question, did my body change when I went vegan? I think before I even go further into, if the body changes or not, I want to talk about my personal experience. And my personal experience when I went vegan saw some changes in my body, and it's obvious, right? I did remember that when I went vegan, I went cold turkey. You guys have heard that story, no pun intended. And making that change automatically, next day I was like, I'm just going vegan. And with that said, of course there was some changes that happened. And it was because of the misinformation. I wasn't really aware of what I needed to eat, how that transition is going to affect me or not. I just basically was driven by an emotional decision, and I went with it, and that was happening. So it does require a lot more from my side, kind of to do some research in that area to understand more of the lifestyle, everything that implied. But at that point for me, it was like a decision made was I don't want to be part of any type of animal suffering, any type of slavering, or anything that it was related to animal welfare. So when I did that decision made me go vegan, and from that point on it was not a no-brainer basically. So I didn't really have to think about it. It was just mostly about figuring it out later on, which I take a lot of decisions based that way. So once I did that decision of going vegan, yes, I started losing weight. I mentioned this story before. I lost weight, and was in that process that I was losing weight. I also got a little bit of sick, and what I was told from some vegans back then, it was like your body had to detox, so you had to go to the detoxification process, and honestly, for the most part, it was because I wasn't eating right. I wasn't eating properly. So I didn't have a real mentor to kind of transition me from one thing to another, or any 30-day vegan challenge, or somebody holding my hand. It was just a decision that I made that time, and I just went with it, and I was just trying to figure everything out on the fly. That experience took me to kind of help people on this process, and that's one thing that if I could help you guys to go over the transition in a smoother way without having to struggle the way I struggle, I guess I will definitely help you guys during this process, because it will allow you to have a smoother transition and don't have to worry about any implications or any medical conditions or anything on those lines. Going back to my story, I went vegan the next day. I remember that day like if it was just today. I watched the video and said I'm going vegan, and I changed my lifestyle that day. And the next day I eliminated completely any animal product from my diet. So no fish, no eggs, no chicken, nothing. And as you guys know, I'm from Panama, and meat is a very heavy influence culture. So our culture depends a lot, or they rely a lot on animal products. So they use it a lot as their staple. So for me, it was like, okay, so hey, what am I gonna eat now? And for the most part, it was rice and beans, a lot of fruits. There was not, and some greens. There was not really a balanced meal in my plate because most of the food back then was cooked by my mom, which she still cooks this day. So, and then she cooks the things she knows how to cook, right? So there was not really any type of teaching as far as how to prepare meals or whatnot. And I wasn't really good at making food back then, so it was mostly just, whatever she cooks, I would just strip the meat out to get started and then just eat whatever remaining. But I wasn't really eating a lot of balanced food to some extent. So that definitely causes some issues when it comes to losing weight. So my body did change when I got started because I lost a lot of weight through that. And then the first thing when someone lose weight, especially when they're transitioning, is they think they're sick, or because they associate slim people with unhealthy, when not necessarily somebody that is slim is unhealthy, because you can have people that are even on the heavier side and they're not necessarily healthy either. So that's one thing, don't rely on another. So you gotta make sure that you keep your proper weight based on your height and based on your age, and based on those different factors. And then once you maintain that weight, will be an appropriate way for you to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So that transition happened. I lost weight, and when that happens, then I need to figure out what happened. Eventually, with the years, I never went back to eating meat, so I just kind of still figured it out, what I needed to eat, how do I manage my way through it. And once I figured it out, it was a lot easier for me. It was a no-brainer, and it was a lot more smoother process for me because I already have the staple of what needs to be to eat, how to eat the food, how to prepare the food, and so on. So it was a lot easier for me when that happened. So that's what's going to come to better. So in the case of if your body is going to change, your body might change. I won't say that everyone's gonna go through the same transformation, the same process. Some people might have going to a vegan diet from a health standpoint. So they're gonna see some changes when they start eating a plant-based diet or a vegan diet. Some are gonna definitely just maintain, depending of the situation. Some people might have the opportunity to experience a vegan diet and reduce all the animal fat and the animal products that they were consuming, which are high in saturated fat, they're high in cholesterol, and they're high in so many other negative things that once they reduce those products, their body automatically start clearing out, detoxing, cleaning themselves, taking a reboot. The body automatically start feeling that way. Even if you focus on the more of the unhealthier side of a vegan, you're still gonna see some benefit or some changes in your body. So I do definitely think that your body will change once you go vegan, especially if you go vegan from a food standpoint, from a health standpoint, right? You're definitely going to see changes. So for the most part, you're going to see your body reducing in size because now you're going to be able to eat a healthier diet, which is out of any type of animal byproduct, which at the same time doesn't really benefit your body that much. Now, another benefit of if you go vegan or you have a vegan diet is by reducing your animal product, you also giving yourself a higher chances of health. When I mean health, I mean of optimal health. I would actually suggest that when we're talking about a vegan diet, we focus more on the whole food plant-based lifestyle or whole food plant-based diet, because the whole food plant-based diet is actually the healthier side of the vegan diet, right? Because it's only focused on plant-based, whole food plant-based food more than anything else. When we talk about vegan or vegan diet is mostly it's a very wide statement. It's a very broad statement. So when we talk about vegan diet, you can talk about eating vegan ice cream, vegan chocolate, all these different type of unhealthy food. And we want to focus more on the healthier side. Is you want to focus on the food side of veganism, right? So you want to focus on probably consuming less oil. Yes. So basically, guys, it's very important that when you focus on a vegan diet, focus on a whole food plant-based diet. We want to be able to eat as healthy as possible as we can. And with that, it's important that a whole food plant-based diet accomplish that. Because a whole food plant-based diet is mostly focused on greens, leaf, nuts, seeds, fruits, vegetables. And that's a more natural, more complete diet. You're going to get all your vitamins, all your nutrients, micronutrients, and macronutrients. You're going to find them all if you eat a complete whole food plant-based diet. So with that said, there's gonna be some changes in the body. Absolutely. For most people, all that unnecessary fat that you're carrying because of the excess of animal fat that you consume is gonna go away. It's gonna go away. You're gonna clear your body. You're gonna have various blood circulation. It's gonna be a whole lot of benefit by just incorporating a whole food plant-based diet into your eating habits now. And you're definitely going to see your body changes. I see some people that just by changing the way they eat and eating a vegan diet, they automatically start losing weight, right? And some folks start getting into more of their natural weight. I know for a lot of people this might be a concern, but in this case that you feel like losing weight is not what you want to do, then what you need to focus on is eating the quality of food or eating the amount of food that you're eating. So the good thing about a whole food plant-based diet is very rich. It's very rich. It's a density of richness. The food is high quality food, especially the whole food plant-based. It's rich, dense. And what that means is that you're gonna get all the nutrients in one package. So it's gonna be easy to digest for your body. So what you focus on is in eating those quality meals, and just eat more. So you feel like you're not having enough food, just eat more. I know there's some folks that might eat, every 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, depends. Or even when you feel hungry, you don't have to set up a specific schedule. But the key here is that you maintain eating those food that allows you to not only feel satisfied, but at the same time provide you with the nutrients you need to live a healthy lifestyle. So one thing that I like to advise is stay away from unhealthy food. Even though there's vegan, we talk about vegan diet, we talk about whole food plant-based diet. We know that there's an unhealthier side of vegan, and this is all the processed food. However, I want to admit, eating vegan food is a lot healthier than eating junk food from people who have some conventional diet. Because again, we're talking about food that is high on animal product, and we all know that you're gonna get higher risk of disease if you consume animal product. So even if you're eating junk food, it's still healthier than eating other type of food. However, if you wanna get to the ultimate, I highly suggest eating whole food plant-based. Unhealthy food are good for people that are transitioning. Like I always use the word transitioning, meaning that you're going from your conventional diet, American standard diet, whatever is your conventional diet, to a more plant-based, more whole food, more vegan diet. In that period of time, you transition. Maybe you having vegan every now and then you go vegan during the week and on weekends and so on and so forth. It's easier that you get familiar with food that you are eating, and then those food is the ones that you start digesting more in the vegan presentation, and then from that point on you start moving into a more healthier lifestyle. The interesting part is, like, if you never had any knowledge of nutrition, you never know anything about nutrition from a conventional diet that you were part of, what makes you think that you know more about nutrition when you go to vegan, right? So it's important that you get that information, get that knowledge. So now that you're transitioning to a vegan diet, it's important that you understand how to eat, what to eat. It's important to understand where the nutrients come from, what kind of nutrients you need to be consuming, and all these different kind of things that are going to allow you to make an easier transition, a healthy transition, and not go through things like I did back in my day. If you are a person that you rather have somebody, hold your hand, help you to process, hire a coach. There's a lot of people out there that can help. I have tons of information for free on my social media. I'm a lifestyle coach, a transitional coach, I'm a fitness coach. I help people also in this space. But if you feel comfortable by just doing it your own self, do it yourself as well too, and just make sure that you focus on doing the transition smooth, depending on what your mindset is behind it. And at the same time, make sure that you eating, your fruit, your vegetables, your green, your protein, your micronutrients and macronutrients as well, protein, fats. Of course, you're gonna eat fat as well, and you're gonna eat your carbohydrates. It's important. So those are the three important micronutrients, your macros, right? You got your fat, your proteins, and your carbohydrate. And it's important that you hit those threes. So for me, your body changes, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually a good thing for most people, and you can accomplish that by just changing the way you eat. Make sure that when you adopt this lifestyle, do it the right way, do it good. It's a perfect lifestyle for eating healthy. There's so much options now, and you're not gonna have any type of issues if you focus on eating whole food plant-based diet, which is rich, dense. You have a lot of nutrients that are gonna feed your body, and it's gonna give you all the necessary nutrients that you need to be able to have a healthy lifestyle if you focus on a whole food plant-based diet. If you focus on a vegan diet only, then make sure that you stay consistent and stay balanced with the type of meals you eat. At the same time, make sure that you add a lot of greens, a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, or not. Try to make it whole food as much as possible too. That way you can have that good balance if that's what you're looking for. So I want to recap basically this episode where we're talking about how a vegan diet changes your body. And I mentioned a couple key nuggets here, which is yes, your body will change. For some people, they'll lose weight. For others, you gain weight. Depend. And I'm talking not talking a scenario where you don't have any type of physical impediment or any type of physical problem issues, right? I'm using this example in case that you just lose weight or gain weight depending on the amount of food that you consume. So you're definitely going to lose weight on a vegan diet if you focus on eating the right way. At the same time, even if you eat only a vegan diet, which is mostly, which include everything, right? Includes nut seed, grains, ice cream, cakes, and all that kind of stuff. That's what vegan diet means. But at the same time, if you only eat a whole food plant-based diet, you're still gonna have the opportunity to see your body making changes. If you add to that physical activity and the workout regimen, any type of physical activity, you're even gonna see some major changes in your body, because not only you're gonna see physical changes, all right, and your body's gonna start changing physically. Either you have more stamina, you get stronger, you get muscles, or what it is that you do, but at the same time, your health is getting better. Your health is gonna be better, and your size is gonna start reducing. So you're gonna start slimming down. You're gonna have a smaller waist. You're gonna have a big belly, and so forth. Because you really, truly, if you have to eat a lot of junk food to be able to gain massive weight. But if you stay consistent eating, a very decent whole food plant-based diet, you're always gonna maintain a very good, decent size. So, good way of maintaining a good physical shape is that what you want to do on top of working out. So you also want to see how if you reduce the amount of animal product that you eat to completely eliminate the animal product you eat, you're gonna see some major changes in your body, and you want to take advantage of those. And you want to always keep it healthy by eating a whole food plant-based diet. So I hope this episode you guys found a lot of value. I know it's important for a lot of people how they look, and keeping a nice physique. And you can accomplish that with a whole food plant-based diet. Not only is it gonna give you a nice physique, but it's also gonna maintain you on a good mood. It's gonna keep you healthier. You're gonna feel better about yourself, and you're gonna feel better about the way you look. So I highly suggest that. And at the end of the day, I just want you guys to be happy, love yourself, love others, and enjoy this lifestyle that I'm giving you guys so much, and I'm giving me so much benefit. So with this, I end this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and see you guys in the next one. Peace, love, vegan.
Gracias por escuchar Latino y Vegano, un show donde se habla todo lo relacionado sobre el veganismo entre la comunidad latina. No olviden suscribirse a este podcast, seguirnos en Instagram, Facebook, YouTube y a visitarnos en latinoyvegano.com.